people talking then?
I just hear. I have to watch a commercial.
Okay, let me know after the commercial if all you hear is music.
People talking.
It's offline now.
Oh no, wait! I hear people talking in the background.
You do? I gotta figure out how that
Just
works.
right.
Okay, well, I gotta figure out how that works. Hold on.
What the heck is the Elven Prophecy? Oh, that's the music. Okay.
Yeah, it's real freaking royalty-free
It was
music.
made by real
awesome.
elves.
Like the cookies?
Yes, the
Keebler
Keebler
elves.
is very good,
Delicious.
Yeah.
delicious, and entertaining. Especially when you set them on fire and what.
Okay.
give you that.
And cut.
And you guys weren't hearing me talk at all on the stream right now. Hold on.
I don't think so. We
No.
don't even see you on the stream.
Nope.
Okay,
Not
so
on the
now I'm
stream.
hearing the voices come through on the stream.
Yeah, I turned the mics
It still says you're playing The Witcher 3, though. Although, hey, you have 7 viewers currently. Maybe you should keep saying that you're playing The Witcher 3.
On the plus side, it says you have 7 viewers. I think that you maybe you're 2 of them, John, right? Okay.
This worked. This worked testing every single time.
Shadows over Stormloft. Deep in Grove is playing Witcher 3 for 6 minutes.
It should be 7 now, because I put it on my...
Turn that.
I find this hysterical. I have my PC for playing the game, actually. I have my MacBook for actually you guys being able to see me, and then I have your Twitch stream on my phone. All devices I own are currently being used for this D&D game.
As it should be.
It says I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons online. Really, it says I'm playing The Witcher 3.
It says The Witcher 3. Even on my phone one, it says The Witcher 3.
Do you mean on Discord or Twitch?
Twitch.
That's so weird.
Currently you have 8 people watching you, though.
Maybe they like The Witcher 3.
I mean, I like The Witcher 3. It's a good game. I was playing it the other day.
Yeah, it should say Dungeons and Dragons. Alright.
Playing The Witcher of Dragons. On D&D. On D&D. Wishing I knew how to spell.
Okay, here we go. Let's see if this works.
Freaking work, John.
Let me know. Looking all right.
It looks good. Yeah, working.
We're moving around and we're talking.
We are moving.
All right,
Are
sexy.
we talking?
Are we talking?
Yeah.
Moving
Yeah.
around.
I hear talking.
Okay, great. So then,
That
I think I got it. I think I figured it out. I think I've solved the problem.
You did. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Wait, okay, one more little trick. This is just for goofiness, but check this out too. Hold on.
Why does he think we enjoy these things?
Okay, did you see the words change on the screen? Hold on, it'll be.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so
finally
great.
got it to work.
Got it to work.
Okay, so last
Nice.
session, if you'll recall, you finally decided to go into the temple beneath the city of Stormloft, underneath the castle Stormloft, to go and investigate the Vazriel temple that was found by one Jonathan Hoppler. You opted to test your orbs in the slot and the Vazriel dagger of the Vazriel King to get it to open, just like you did with the one in the Earth area, back in the Tome of Derlithoth. And you managed to find out that this one is the one for Sindiscray, the red orb that is carried by Zelbor. So, upon accessing it, the ground broke away, became like fire, and you started to fall in. Zelbor, as you hold the sword of ultimate sorcery, as you pulled it away from the amulet of penultimate truth, and you stare into it and start to feel the potency of it surge throughout your body, the spells lingering in your veins becoming like permanent. They feel just absolutely there. What you realize is that you're not the only one holding the hilt of the blade. In the blaze, you see an old man, spotted hand upon the hilt of the blade, staring into the flames at you. It's none other than Cardiff, holding the weapon. And the two of you descend in fire. Hawk, you also descend in fire. Mel, you also descend in fire. And Boo also descends in fire. But you cannot see the other two. You cannot see Cardiff and Zelbor locked in this grapple for the sword. I will ask Dan, would you like to try and wrest the sword from his hands, or would you like to relinquish it to his grasp?
Well, in this moment, Zelbor would see like a crazed look in Cardiff's eye, something he'd never seen in this person before. Something that just kind of stirs you in the wrong way, a selfish, evil look. And in that moment, you kind of see almost like a sheen across his eyes, and that look vanishes. And he relinquishes the grasp on the sword.
I was hoping you were going to say something like, "You cannot pass Flame of Udun."
As he lets go of the weapon, Cardiff is engulfed in flame. And Zelbor, you're holding the sword in your hand and are left to yourself. And you feel like you're falling for some time. Then you feel it suddenly kind of coming up beneath you. And it looks like you can see that there's a sea of flame all around you, all about you, but you can see through it. And you see several little islands kind of set in this just nest of flame. And each one appears to be connected in this very paradoxical manner. There seems to be bridges of stone connecting each of these stone islands together. You can't really get much of details as they seem to kind of have flame all about them. And you're seeing it through like kind of a wispy haze of heat. But the one directly beneath you, as it comes closer quickly, you see that there are 4 other forms kind of coming towards it a lot quicker than you are. Is there anything you'd like to do before you make contact with the island?
Yes, I would like to cast Odaluk's Resilient Spear on myself.
Okay. Hawk, you're the first one to splash down. You hit in the center of this island in kind of a pool of liquid. Everything's kind of hazy for a second, but as you kind of get a hold of yourself and focus in, you see that you're standing in a pool of blood.
Oh, great.
You're on a
Is
rock.
it your own?
You're on a rocky island that has tiles set atop of it, around the pool that you're in, and you see that there's 4 streams kind of exiting out of the pool that you're in, allowing the blood to cascade into the flames. Directly across from you on this island, islet, whatever, the small little rock floating in the sea of fire. There's this arch. Looks like it's made out of kind of a purplish gray stone, and it has a bunch of arcane glyphs on it, and a solid black void inside of the portal, inside of the archway of it. Bear with me here. Tricks, 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 and more tricks. Let's see. Just making sure everything's going okay. And trying to get my stuff to load at the same time. Once I get used to this, once I get used to positioning, that's the main thing, is just getting used to where stuff's located now. Because in the way that I was doing it before, everything was on one screen that I wasn't toying with, and everything that I was toying with is on another. But this allows for more space. Just space.
Space.
All right, so the map should have changed.
Yep.
Cool. Yes, I see the pool of blood.
We landed in the pool of blood, and the portal with the black is straight ahead of us, right?
That archway, yeah.
What's this over here? Is it a
Well, hold on. You splash down. You're kind of looking around. You
Mhm.
see a pile of something kind of near the portal, and kind of look over
Looks
in
like
that direction.
skulls.
Cans of spray paint.
Okay. Directly after Hawk kind of splashes down, Mel, you kind of come down and hit the blood as well. You're not coming down at like rocket velocity or at falling velocity, anyways. It seems that there's something kind of magically uplifting you that sets you down into the blood. You still kind of fall into it about chest deep, like Hawk did, but you're able to kind of maneuver yourself towards the edge to get out of this mess.
Fish people like blood,
Okay.
right?
Not bathing in it. Hey, just as a reminder, I had cast Death Ward on myself before we entered this portal.
Yeah, I know.
It lasts 8 hours, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. I'm ready to die.
Aren't we all? Aren't you all? That's what I
Yes.
meant to say. I'm fine. I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
I mean, for some reason, my AC is back to 14, so yes. Stupid DM giving things anti-magic.
I'm sorry. Shortly after, Mel, unless you have any questions in particular, Boo, you fall into the blood shortly after him.
I guess what I would want to do is get out of the blood.
Okay, makes sense. You can kind of pull yourself up out of the pool onto the ledge. There, it's only about a foot
Actually,
or so
can
high.
I go there instead? Can I go there instead?
Fine.
All right.
You guys would kind of look around at the situation, and you would see Cardiff come out of the heavens, kind of wreathed in flame for a moment, and then he just hits the blood.
Hello! Damn bird!
You even notice that Gavin is pecking at his head. He looks quite flustered and frustrated with the old coop.
All right.
He starts running from the bird through pools of blood.
Okay. And last but not least, you see an orb of just solid, like almost semi-transparent, just force drop into the blood, cause it to splash up out of the edges there, and then it kind of just floats towards one of the lips. And as he kind of zips it open to step out of it, I assume he steps off of the bottom of the sphere as the top unbubbles, and he walks out onto the ledge without getting any blood on him.
Well, of course, I can't ruin the coat. This is expensive.
Certainly not. All right.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
What are you doing here, Cardiff?
Well, I don't quite recall. There was a pitter-patter of rain, a dark night. I was sleeping, dreaming.
Yes, you were on the couch. I know.
And then something stirred deep, dark.
Kind of trails off.
Good.
Which Cardiff are you?
I'm Cardiff.
You see Cardiff start to walk towards Zelbor. And you actually see, just like usual, a figment of Cardiff exists still in this square. Trailing behind him.
That's so cool. It looks like the Cardiff I'm used to.
Seems to be.
help him out of the blood.
No, thank you. Well, where are we now?
I'm going to venture a guess to somewhere unpleasant.
So if we haven't already done so, we would tell Cardiff about the ruins underneath the city. And I would ask him to identify, if he could, what this is, these arcane symbols.
Well, I don't quite. Yes, no, damn it!
Informative.
Let's go a little closer to that.
Okay.
Do we want to do that?
So the main things to note here too is it does look like you're kind of surrounded with flame, but the truth of the matter is you're kind of floating above the flame, and above you is a cloud layer that's all fire. Basically, you're in a pocket that's in between two layers of flame. From what it looks like, you can see that there are circular kind of patches up ahead where it looks like there's like mirage effects of other small little islands like the one that you're standing on. But it seems that any way off of this island that you're standing on seems to be blocked by this weird black void.
Black void?
Yep, so up at the north portion of this island, there is an archway. The archway has a bunch of strange glyphs upon it that kind of glisten blue in the firelight, like reflectors. And on the ground, there's a pulsing magic symbol that's been etched out in front of this portal way.
Hawk would turn to Boo, who has the pendant and the true sight, and ask what he sees.
It's all real.
What?
It's all real.
Real?
It's all very magical.
And hey, why don't you don't you know about those sort of things, Zelbor? You know everything, right? What
know
those
how-
arcane symbols?
But I can take a look at it, I suppose.
What are you casting?
It's hot in here, isn't it?
It is warm. Yeah, it is a bit warm.
I'm not really liking this, guys. I don't want to hang out for too long. This place is
I don't
hot.
know what you're talking about. I feel fine.
This is great.
This is the first
Okay.
time I've been warm in years.
So Cardiff is going to kind of inspect this void, this null or the zone or dark energy that exists around this location.
So that's just drop shadow. It's not a null void or anything. It's just shadow that's dropped off of the island to show that it's kind of above it. I guess that was kind of a weird one.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
my effects and Photoshop skills.
So there's no arcane. It's just
No, it's you're
that's
literally
not even really there.
where you're standing. You're on the edge of a cliff. Beneath you, there's a bunch of stone, and then beneath that is a bunch of fire.
Okay. Okay.
The black void I was talking about is here. Up on the,
Oh,
it's up on
that's-
the north side.
That's what would have drawn his attention. He wouldn't even.
Okay. Yeah, it appears to be just a sheet of shadow.
Is
Well,
it a shitty sheet of shadow?
You can make an Arcana check, Dan, and then I'll go ahead and move on to other people. Kevin, what is Malik doing?
I'm just going to keep an eye on things, kind of like stay guarded, because I don't have any ability to decipher any of this magical stuff.
Okay. Boo,
Excuse me.
anything in particular you want to focus on? Zach?
I'm not sure Zach is currently
Active. Okay, that's fine.
at his mic.
No problem. Hawk, anything in particular you want to check out?
Yeah, this pile of bones and whatever is beside it.
Sure. It's actually not a pile of bones, it's a pile of skulls, as previously pointed out. It appears that there are several different types of races present. You do find one that has horns on its head, but there are more humans and elves than anything else based on the skull structure. But you do find one that is a tieflings. Just about 15 or so different skulls. And hold on a second, I'm going to try something.
So, what exactly transpired before we fell into these depths?
It's better.
So Hawk would then tell Cardiff about going underneath the castle and the puzzles that they had to solve with the keys that led to here.
Sorry, guys, give me a second.
Oh, you got girlfriended?
Yeah.
Apparently he does.
He got girlfriended, not he has a girlfriend. I know he has a girlfriend. God, what did she...
Also, John.
Ugh. She's so ugly.
John. I wanted to check out the circle. Do I need to do anything to check out the circle?
It would be an Arcana check.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and deal with, since he's busy not playing D&D. Zelbor, you look at the circle and you realize that this seems to be kind of a focal point or an end cap for a portal. So you believe that there is some magic on the other side of this current magic seal that would allow someone to return back to or bring themselves to this location through magic.
Teleportation.
It's like a teleportation circle. Yeah.
It is exactly like a teleportation circle, but it seems that it's activated specifically not by an opposite end teleportation circle. From what you can tell of the Arcana with that 30, is that whatever gets the activation, it's not itself another circle. It's not like a double gateway. It's one way, I guess is what I was trying to relay.
It's one way to it.
Correct. You cannot go to where it comes from. And then Cardiff, with your 27 on the sheet of shadow, you pay more attention actually to the glyphs on the archway, and you start to realize that they're arcane marks of other wizards. So in olden times, wizards would have the ability to, through prestidigitation or other magics, back in the day the magic was called arcane mark. It was a spell of its own. You would basically apply your arcane glyph onto something and could leave it there for some time, possibly permanently. It looks like hundreds, from what you can tell, have done so to this archway. You also find that looking at it and kind of paying attention to it, it seems to kind of spell out something word-wise, and you're kind of confused at first, but then you think about it and you kind of go, oh. It says...
Something.
Kazmakalau Wir, which in ancient Jernaran tongue, or the older kind of draconic languages, Kazmakalau Wir means somewhere else. The shadow is not transparent. It seems to block your sight of what's beyond it. If you kind of move to the sides of it, though, and look around it, it does look like there is a stone path that leads from it onto the flames and possibly to another island.
Somewhere else.
Yes, it would be nice to go somewhere else.
I second that.
Yep.
Somewhere else. But what does it mean?
Do you walk out onto the glyph just like all willy-nilly? Yay.
Yep.
Okay. It doesn't do anything. I just like it when you're reckless.
He would sit down Indian style in the center of the glyph scratching his beard.
And then his butt.
Okay.
Gavin would hoot and fly back into his robes.
Okay. The second he enters your robes, a burst of flame comes out of the pocket dimension where he normally goes and starts to kind of wreath out onto your cloak. You very quickly just tamp it out, but you can very quickly identify that Gavin made it through, but you don't think you can bring him back forth again. It seems that the place that you're in, this space, doesn't allow for extra dimensional travel or any extra dimensional anything really. No
Can't warp
magic.
space time.
Hold on a second, John. Let me mute so that I don't hear that and cast an face again.
Oh yeah, no magic mansions. Okay.
Audio's cutting out again, Matt.
I moved the mic.
Oh, that might be it. Does anybody, any of you mage types, know what that black void is underneath that arch? Is that some sort of a?
I don't know.
Hmm,
But if I observe it for a time, yes.
oh man, Cardiff, we miss you.
Mind you, he's still kind of got dribbling. He's not even dribbling. He's just red with blood.
He's looking a little crazy right now.
I mean, to be fair, most of us look a little bit shit right now.
He would start
Except for
cleaning.
me.
He would start cleaning everyone.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. The thing that you notice as you start to cast the spell to clean up the blood on them is that most of it seems to have kind of evaporated away off of them because of the heat, which is strange because blood doesn't typically evaporate quickly. It usually actually becomes like solid and
Congeals.
congeals.
Yeah.
That's the word I was thinking. This appears to be quite different.
Actually, it's evaporative cooling. I might go jump in the blood again and get back out. It's evaporative cooling there.
Fair.
See, I'm gonna do that too. Splash.
Okay.
Jump in there.
Dunk your head underneath too.
Figure out what you guys want to do and tell me, and I'll get out.
Well, eventually we'll pass this threshold, but but not now. Not yet. It's not time.
He'd stand up from sitting Indian style on the floor, and walk towards the blood over here. And he would start collecting it within a vial.
Okay.
Okay, that's vile, dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
John's sitting there like, how can I kill Zelbor?
Another Zelbor falls in and lands on you. Ah. All right, and then
And so feeling compelled, he would take the vial. Then he would start smearing the blood on the arch.
yeah, as it kind of touches the arch, it kind of just starts evaporating, just like the stuff that was on your attire. It does not appear that that is at all what is required.
So we have a couple of other powerful magic items with us. Hawk's sword and the amulet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Hawk would pull out the sword and sort of pay attention to it. Does it give him any indication of what to do?
Seems distant, and basically the feeling that you would normally feel, like where it kind of relieves or grants emotional, encouragement. You just feel kind of this strange burning. It's not a painful burning, just like a swarming sensation that just seems to be vague and non-empathic.
All right, Zelbor's. I was going to say Zelbor's going to take one of his non-functioning healing potions anymore, dump it out, fill that with some of the blood, and then try to throw that through the portal.
You see it go through.
Silky.
It goes like towards the shadow. You see it kind of go a distance. You hear a splash sound on the opposite side, and then you see your vial just thrown back out, and it kind of hits the ground. It's empty.
Neat.
It seems like the shadows had an elasticity or some form of sentience. It took the non-blood things out, discarded them.
What do you guys think?
So, do we just keep adding more blood until it's satisfied? Or...
What if we jump into the blood and cover ourselves with it and walk through the arch?
Then won't it just take all the blood and spit us out?
I don't know.
Or at least our skulls will get split.
You know what?
I
We already
nominate Hawk goes first.
We already have a fish man covered in blood, so why doesn't that fucker go first?
Go, Malik.
I'm under blood.
So, just a
Can't even
question.
hear you.
Like you're focusing on kind of a couple of ideas here, and you did quite a bit of like crafting and kind of paying attention to stuff. How long do you actually kind of just waltz around before you decide to do anything drastic, like try to go through it?
I think we were pretty much moving at a decent pace. We weren't like trying to.
5 or so minutes, maybe, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't
not too
imagine much more than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then get to
Not too long.
stupidity. What are we doing? What's the plan?
I think
Part
the
of-
stupidity is get bloody person into portal.
Yeah, dude. I say we toss the fish man through.
I will just say
Hey.
one.
Heave
I
ho!
will. I will just say one thing about that. I'm not saying no, but if you toss me and I come back and I've been dead less than a minute, I can't revivify myself, but I could revivify somebody
That's
else.
very true.
And Bigby's hand throws him through.
Ah, it's
I
like
mean,
a fish fry.
As a DM, an impartial voice to your deciding who you want to murder, Hawk did volunteer.
Yeah. I am.
Yeah,
fine
but
with
what
doing
is-
Malik is
I-
already covered in blood. That's how Pooh is thinking. Is like he's
Right.
already like fucking covered. Let's just toss this one through. Like instead of waiting for you to dunk your body.
What's the worst that can happen? He dies.
Walk it off.
He'll be fine.
So Carter
Get another
tosses
fish
the
man
tiefling's
magic.
skull, the skull on the ground, into the portal.
Yep. It takes the portal, like the portal seems to catch it in midair and flings it back through. It hits the stone kind of in the middle of the portal way, or the magic circle, and kind of skitters across the ground. Some cracks are applied to it as it is lobbed back out.
Hey, be careful. That could be one of my many relatives.
Well, it appears to refuse anything that hasn't been inoculated with whatever energy or source it wishes to have. So, if you wish to throw our companion Malik into the portal all willy-nilly, I assume it will just spit him out unless he has been doused in the energies that it finds appropriate. So, well, that's my hypothesis. Yes.
So he then goes back towards the center of the portal
Mhm.
and sits and continues to
Hey.
ponder.
Hey, Hawk.
Yeah.
Why don't you come here? Douse yourself in blood. I will cast Death Ward on you. So if it does something that would kill you instantly, you'll hopefully not be.
Wait,
killed
you
instantly.
cast Death Ward on yourself.
I have 2 level 4 spells.
You can cast it multiple times. It's not concentration.
Metagame! Yeah, it's an 8-hour thing.
No, I
If
was
it's-
saying if you died, you'd come back though. That was more.
Well,
my
not necessarily. It depends on what
True.
effect it is. Like I don't really want to risk it. The first thing, no, I don't want anybody else to risk dying either. But if you guys are intent on doing this, maybe I should cast Death Ward
No,
on Hawk and have him go
yeah.
through. That
I
would be
think
the
that's
So
more
does there doesn't seem to be any other course of action, right?
I mean, it's entirely up to you guys.
we could jump
I
off
think-
into the fire, but I
I'll
don't
give you
like
the-
No,
that.
I'll give you the scenario.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Did we figure out exactly what the riddle says?
There's no riddle.
I'm
No
worried.
riddle.
Oh,
No, it's a bunch
Okay.
of mages' arcane glyphs, but based on like the way that they're patterned, it spells out a word in old draconic Janaran.
okay,
tongue.
yeah, okay.
That
I've caught
says
up now.
somewhere
Sorry,
else.
I missed.
Yeah, and then they threw a vial filled with the blood through it. The vial was discarded. The blood was apparently able to get through. They threw a skull through. It didn't make it through. You are on an island that appears to be floating hundreds of feet above a sea of flame, and you are hundreds of feet below a canopy of flame. Everything around you appears to be just fire. Off in the distance, you can see volcanoes and just cairns of fire. It just appears to be a hellish landscape all about you. There's a pool of blood. The blood seems to be dripping out in 4 patterns. It seems to be kind of dripping off the edges of the
Malik,
island.
have you been to the bottom of the pool of blood?
I have not, but I could check it out.
Doesn't hurt to see if there's something down there.
You're right. I will do
Right.
that. I will, and also to make it even better, I'm going to transform my feet into tail.
Okay.
So
You go
I'm
into
gonna
full
build
fish
tail.
mode, and
Yeah,
you
and then I'm going to search around. I probably won't be able to see very well, but I could touch things.
make an investigation check.
I
With,
still say while Pete's
with-
doing that, Hawk should take a bath too.
with wisdom. Wisdom
right.
investigation. Sorry, not intelligence investigation.
Wisdom investigation. All right. Well,
If you're not trained in investigation, then just wisdom.
All right, I'll just wisdom. Wisdom. Holy moly! I don't find
You roll
shit.
to yourself,
Yeah, you rolled to yourself. I
Oh,
can't see what you
awesome.
rolled.
but you don't find shit because
No, I don't find shit.
I'm okay with
did you
accepting
roll?
bad answers.
Yeah, it's a bad answer.
What did you get total?
Wait, what did you end up rolling?
It was a 2.
Okay. So yeah, you don't find shit. That's exactly true. Yeah, it's
Oh, well, it didn't
Well-
hurt to try.
Let's kill Hawk.
So Hawk is going to go into the blood.
you coat yourself in blood.
Yeah, and then I'm going to I'm going to step through backwards, kind of like this.
Okay.
Nice.
You,
Just so if I get
you're
thrown, actually I'm doing that on purpose, so
You're
that if I
doing
get
Homer
thrown
Simpson.
out, I'll see what I'm getting thrown out into.
apparently learning from Juan with the gifts. For those of you who can't see, because the chat's not actually shown in the stream, he's backing into it like Homer backing into bushes. Anyways,
The bush.
yep, the bush. He backs into it, and coated in blood, you pass through it. As you're doing so, you hear this ringing, echoing kind of voice emanate from the shadow and the archway, and it says, "Gobolus."
Oh.
And you step through. You are now standing on a rocky bridge. You turn around, and it just looks like there's flames dancing across the bridgeway, and it looks like well off in the distance you can see another island that it's connected to.
Am I covered in blood?
Blood's dripped away.
Huh.
You know, I just thought if he steps through and doesn't come back, how do we just die?
Yeah, really. We just leave now, guys, right?
So-
You guys could just leave.
You guys are
right?
kind of like looking at the shadowway, and you would know that it's not transparent, but you can see Hawk standing on the other side. It's transparent
Ah.
for him.
Sweet. All right, I'll go then. I'm already doused in blood.
Fine, I'll.
What happens when I try and approach the gate without dousing myself in blood?
Do you?
Yeah, I just get close enough to like be near it, but I'm not gonna try and pass through. I want to see
You
if
touch
it
the
like,
sheet?
says anything.
Do you touch the sheet of shadow?
Did it say his name before he touched the shadow?
It-
Afterwards.
It
It's
didn't.
not worth the risk. I saw it work the other way. Like, if it was gonna do something when I approached, I just wanted to see. But like,
Okay.
I don't need to risk that if Malik and everyone
Malik,
else.
as you pass through
There.
the portalway, it says Devonray.
All right.
And then who's next?
I don't want to step in the. I don't want to ruin this jacket. So nice.
Boo jumps in, gets underneath the water, and then in one quick fluid motion, I imagine him like lunging out of the water, grabbing like Zelbor's chest, like the front of his shirt, and smiling like eye to eye and pulling him down in like just
I
like
was hoping
Yeah,
you'd
Kicking
do
him in the
that.
pool.
All right.
oh yeah, because I know he's not gonna step in on his own, so it's like here we go, I'm dunking you, bitch.
You splish splash. Cardiff, you jump in as well.
I'm tasting it. Is it actually blood?
Yeah, it's blood.
Gross.
Okay.
It has kind of an acrid taste to it too, almost like there's ash in it.
Malik peed in there too.
Also, there's tea.
Can't take him anywhere.
I wonder why it's starting to feel warmer here.
Zelbor and Boo, as you two pass through, you hear in sequence, basically whoever enters first, you'd hear them first. So we'll say Zelbor was pushed through. You would hear
Probably.
Sindus Grey. And then Boo, as you pass through, you would hear.
I'm not gonna pass through until Cardiff tries to pass through because I need to see if he'll get through because I know I will be fine with the curse. So I'm not stepping through until I see what happens with Cardiff because I don't want him trapped here by himself.
Sure.
Aw.
Cardiff dies.
Yes, I was wondering the same thing.
Because I don't know what the gate's gonna do and if it like launches him and I can try and like catch him or something.
Yeah. So
Before he gets
Cardiff,
like, launched into the fire, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna I'm ready to catch this motherfucker.
you go in, right,
Like,
Cardiff?
Yeah.
Soccer goalie.
Okay.
Separate grounds.
As you step through, the shadows don't seem to assail you and throw you back, but you hear Jizix
What?
as you pass through.
Can you spell that?
We don't hear it. Cardiff hears it.
I know, but he said it. We've heard that name before. We've heard that name before.
And
He's
then,
the keeper of the
god
oath.
Jazz and axes.
It's the keeper of the oath.
and then,
He was the one who defended the ritual site.
and then you pass through. Boo.
Yeah, after him.
It's a long walk down this passageway, but as you guys start to approach that center point, you see that there's flames kind of wreathing across this stone bridge. As you approach, though, the wind's calm and the flames kind of die down. The tongues of fire coming up from the flames below kind of pull themselves back down like fingers releasing or relinquishing a wand or a staff. And you make your way through and onward. You come to a very small island compared to the last one. This one only some 30 or so feet by 30 or so feet, but this one is pretty simple once you get to it. It appears to be nothing more than a crossway.
Do we see anything on the crossway?
It looks like the three passageways lead to their own kind of a ways off. For some reason, it keeps doing that.
I have a great idea. Let's split up.
Yeah, I'll go with Cardiff
No, don't do that.
and Zelbor.
You know I'm always on board for splitting up, Andy. Don't
I know you
dangle
are.
that shit in my face.
Flames kind of seem to rest towards the northern portion, and you see a vision of a man walking towards you. He's wearing a gray robe, but it seems to be slung off of his shoulder, off of his arm, and he seems to be kind of harboring wounds on his arm and upper body. But he's kind of slung the robe off of him so that it's kind of revealing his upper body. And in that hand, he appears to be holding something that's dripping. In his other hand, he appears to be carrying a curved sword. And he kind of steps out into the middle. Boo, as you look at him, you can see right through him. It doesn't appear that he's there.
Cool.
You feel like this is just some sort of manifestation or visual aid. He lifts the thing that seems to be dripping. To those of you that are not seeing him, as transparent. And it appears to be Zelbor's head, cut clean, and he's holding his hair. And you can see the just sagging look in Zelbor's face as he throws the head out towards you, and he vanishes. The head hits the ground and rolls and faces you, kind of just staring blankly up at you, Zelbor.
Look at it with the mirror, Zel.
I don't want to look at it, period.
Okay.
He turned away, arms crossed. No, thank you. No.
You can have the mirror. I'm going to stare over direction.
All right.
There's no dead me head.
All right, he handed you the mirror. Hawk,
Okay.
you look at it.
Yeah, I'll sort of turn around and look at the
As you
head with the mirror.
pull the mirror out and kind of start looking at something and kind of moving it, and light kind of glistens to it, fire just starts pulsing out of the mirror, just everywhere, shooting out in a gout of flames. I need everybody, because you probably are taken aback and kind of move afoul.
Holy shit.
Everyone who's not currently holding the mirror, make a dexterity saving throw.
I'm sorry, guys.
You're gonna zap
It's
us.
okay. I think I'm fine. I'm only going to
Oh.
take a quote.
Ooh.
I think everybody gets a +5 for me because we're all close
Wow.
because of the
Dan, you
bonus.
killed that.
and then I get +5. to
DC's
that.
15.
Sweet.
Should be good. Okay, so if you failed, you take 9 points of damage.
What?
Or if you succeeded, I mean, you take 9 points of damage, unless you have evasion or something.
So I take 4.
You would take half of half, so yeah. No, round against a player, or no, not in this game. Yeah, round down 4.
One person failed. What would he take?
He didn't fail. He lucked it. Uses 1 point.
Boo. Oh, boo. lucked it.
And then I need Hawk to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay,
Oh shit! Can I retcon that luck to be indomitable?
Sure.
I don't know.
Thank you. I forgot that I'm a fighter and I have 2 indomitables, which literally let me reroll a saving throw that I failed.
Hawk, as the fire gouts from your hand, you're kind of like, ah! You actually let it go, and it starts to fall back a bit and hit the ground. It seems to bounce. Not you. No, not you at all. It seems to bounce off of the ground, and it seems to be heading like over the edge. Behind you are 3 people. Go ahead and do me a favor. And
I was wondering if I should. I have an Indomitable. I could re-roll that.
sure. Go ahead if you want to spend your. You guys are spending all your rerolls now. We're not even halfway into this. We're not even.
Yeah, you
this is
never
room-
have combat.
This is room 2. I'm
This is
down.
room 2 of 50, and no long rest, guys.
I was afraid of crit failing this close to an edge.
So
Does that help? Does that help?
do you want to? No. So
He gets +5, doesn't he, from being
Wait, yeah,
here?
doesn't it get +5?
it certainly doesn't. The DC is set in my head. And also the only reason any of you guys passed that last one is because of that +5. So mind that. Well, except for you, Dan. You rolled 2 crits. But like I was saying, you drop the mirror. The fire's still shooting out of it. I need you to pick high or low. There, Andy. Just
Low.
Okay. So then
You should have gone with Zach and gone high.
it's going to go in the direction of Cardiff and Boo. So both of you can make a dexterity saving throw as the mirror bounces off the edge. Okay.
Is there any chance one of us can lunge and try to grab?
I would say Cardiff
How's that?
on the outside edge would have had an easier time of it. He snatches the mirror up by its back end and kind of catches it. The flame still pulsing down. He kind of moves the mirror to the ground so that the fire kind of just stops burning, and then quickly like places it in his cloak and keeps it in keeps it hidden. Cardiff, you'd immediately know what the item is. It's a ley line mirror. It's the ley line mirror. It allows you to see into the other 17 dimensions of proximity, the one that you're in.
Excellent.
Don't use the mirror here.
Unless you want to shoot fire at somebody.
Well, wait a second. Cardiff put that note on the mirror. Cardiff, we figured out this is like a ley line thing. What the hell is this?
Well, you know it's that mirrors.
Right, we got that much. What does
Right,
it
the
do?
name isn't the hard part, buddy.
What does that mean?
You'll have just appear to the different place.
Malik, as they're kind of talking and you're kind of listening to the conversation, you also get this really like just acrid smell kind of wafting into your nostrils, and you're really sensitive to it. And when you turn and look back, the kind of putrid yellow color that you see, you would actually notice is liquid. The ground appears to be just absolutely a pit of liquid. It's like the stone that you're standing on top of is like a bowl filled with it, and it looks like bile.
Oh, and that's bile was the thing that was for my
Yellow bile. It looks like yellow
Yeah.
bile, which was not for you.
Oh, I couldn't remember what mine was.
Water was
Yellow
phlegm.
bile. Oh, okay. Phlegm. Okay.
Due to the location.
So I would mention this to everybody since they're all talking about the mirror and everything. I'd be like, hey guys, do you notice there's bile here? Maybe we should worry about the mirror later, which I got for a very good price. I'll tell you about it sometime. But, and we didn't even know it was magical for like a long time. But anyways, yeah, what do we need to do here? I don't like the looks of this yellow bile stuff. It's gross.
What's the difference between the paths?
None.
Just go down one?
Yeah, one's north, one's west, one's east.
Mhm.
Even with my true sight, I don't notice any difference between the three of them.
No, what you would see is that as you kind of see out onto the bridges, the bridgeways, it looks like there's fire kind of wreathing in the center, like I explained in the last one.
Yeah.
But from what you can tell, the fires seem to kind of have lingering colors to them in your sight. And from what you can tell, based on that, you would see that the path on the right seems to have this strange kind of bluish color mixing with a yellowish color. It seems like two colors are kind of intermingling. The path to the west is bright red in its coloration, and the path to the north seems to have kind of a dark purple or black color amidst its flame. This is not visible to anyone else. This is only visible to someone with true seeing.
What do you see?
What's your LIC?
Reflect. I tell them all the same shit you just told me.
He says that one's that color, that one's that color, and that one's the other color.
Basically.
It looks like Hawk should go to the north one. I should go to the right one, and I guess the red one would that be you, Zell?
Well, I must say we're all going together.
Yeah, I'm not sure thinking that is the best thing to do.
I don't know. Maybe we should send somebody to see what it does, and then we could all just stay here. The rest of us, like either I'll go to the right or Hawk will go north, and we'll see like if anything special happens, and then come back if we can. What do you think? Sound crazy?
Yeah,
Just a little
I feel like
bit.
we should stick together.
All right, we'll stick together. Let's go to the right first.
You guys are just walking along the right path?
Well, no, I'm gonna try to come up here and try to coax people along here.
I'm gonna plunk a couple rocks into this.
Do you have rocks with you?
I mean, Cardiff has all sorts of shit in his bag of holding.
Sure. You pull out some rocks out of your bag of holding and start plunking it into the vial.
Correct.
Okay. It becomes very hard to see. It's nasty, filthy, really bad smelling vial. It does cause the smell to come up a bit more though, now that the layer of film that's settled on the top has been broken because of your rock tossing. And don't try to stealth behind him. I saw you.
Who?
Natalie.
Oh,
She did a little
she
shoot.
failed her stealth.
Anywho.
Yeah, she's being cute.
Anywho, vomit is all around you. Also, vomit is coming out of me because ew.
Yeah, that is so much.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, what do you guys are all going to the right, right?
So what color is the right?
So
It's blue
according
and
to the person with true seeing, it is blue and yellow on the right side.
So like green.
It's not a blend. It is a it's
There are two different colors.
Okay,
One of them is blue and one of them is yellow.
Think-
I know what the word green is, and I would have said green
Think-
if it was green, you stupid.
think
It's a
think
block
think
bag.
of it more like a Tide Pod, not so much like a broken Tide Pod.
We're gonna be eating that?
Num
Too
num.
soon.
Now I'm tab.
All right, I'll step through here, see if I can
Okay,
disappear.
you guys are all going to the right. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Again, let me explain again. What you're seeing, what I'm only going to show you is the islands. I'm not going to show you the pathways. The pathways are about 5 to 10 feet long or wide, and they're really, really long, hundreds of feet. Okay, and you're not able to see where they go off to, and it takes some time to intersect from island to island. So what you're seeing is the island and the points that lead off of the island. Because I didn't want to make a big ass map with a bunch of small, narrow pathways. Because I'm lazy. So what I'm explaining to you again is that pathway leads off of the island onto a narrow bridgeway. And if you're all going that way, I need not Malik and not Zelbor to make Constitution saving throws.
Oh, I told you guys.
Not Malik and not Zelbor.
So we get +5 to this, right? Oh, I'm good.
And I, except for Boo as well.
Good rolls. Good rolls so far.
Okay, great. So you both succeeded. you're taking a total of 10 points of damage. And it feels like force damage to you, Cardiff, but it feels like it's coming from inside of you, not from outside. And you are thrown back down the bridge some 100 feet, not in a way that's violent. It just feels like you are jaunted away and back to the pathway where it starts on this island. Zelbor and Malik, as you pass through the flames, you are not stopped.
What?
It's just you and I,
Zelbor
Zell.
and Malik. Hold on. I'm just trying to understand this.
You guys went down
I
the right
feel
path,
like-
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
The
way
one that
we're
I
supposed
said
to
was
go.
yellow and blue.
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 Right.
Yep.
So
You'd go north.
Cardiff and Hawk are pushed to the left side?
You guys were pushed. All two
Just
of you,
back.
the two that went that weren't supposed to, were pushed back. When you get back there, you see Boo's like just standing there.
Is he pushed?
No,
Yes.
he wasn't.
I love that whispers.
Oh, sweet. So
Car-
three of us.
Cardiff and Hawk. No. Boo didn't go with you.
Oh, Boo didn't even go.
Secret messages are awesome, and he
Aren't
said,
whispers great?
"Yeah." He said, "I'm not going," and I said, "Okay, all right, that's fine."
Yeah, because you knew it was a bad idea.
Sounds-
Yeah, because I could see the colors, and you were like, "Let's all go the same way," and I'm like, "There's a reason. There's 5 different colors." Like,
And there's a reason I chose right, because I knew if something was going to happen, I'm the blue color with the blue orb. I was
I
figuring-
just was following everyone else's lead.
and you got lucky then.
I think
So
the
wait,
colors match up to our.
I was
colors.
Johnson back, correct?
Yes, you are back
Yeah.
on the island that you started on. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think red is going to be Hawk.
No, Hawk is black. He has a
Or
black orb in
black.
his chest.
Right, black.
Yeah,
Which way is that?
north.
Okay.
That's where I told
And then
you
the
to
other.
go.
What are the other 2 colors?
It's red,
Oh.
This is red.
dark purple, black, blue, and light bluish, like phlegm colored, and yellow, like yellow.
And the both of those are to the left.
Yeah, and that, okay. So real quick, make an Arcana
Cool.
check
No.
because it's been a while since we've done the humorism game, but it's definitely important for this one. So
Okay, that's what I. Okay.
just take this note down once you get this
You
Arcana
said
check.
Wisdom Arcana.
Yes.
In-
Wisdom Arcana. Okay, so you kind of remember and recall that the core elements, the 4 core elements, are related to parts of the body, specifically fluids in the
Right.
body. And older tradition, specifically the Bazrael, believed that
Right.
they were the source of magic in those elements. Air was the blood. Earth was the black bile that came from the guts of a man, or not the guts, but like the liver and such. Yellow bile, which came from the guts and the stomach, was the fire of a man, because fire was said to reside inside of a man's stomach. And water was said to reside in the brain, and phlegm was the liquid of that, because they believed that phlegm came out of your brain.
Why not?
Because sure,
Your brain.
your brain. So color-wise, blood red would be air, dark purple black would be earth, yellow would be fire, and blue would be water.
So I'm going in the red one.
Going north.
Okay, and Cardiff, there doesn't appear to be a color for Guy, so where would you like to go?
Come with Hawk.
I
Where?
think I should just go for a swim in the phlegm and then walk through the phlegm color. I'm not there though, so I can't actually make that suggestion.
He would, being beckoned by Hawk, he would follow Hawk.
Okay. As you guys approach the flames together, the flames seem to kind of, reside and allow you to pass. Perfect. And Boo, you march on by yourself, correct?
Yeah, buddy. Let's do this thing.
All right. We're going to go ahead and go from left to right. And by left to right, I mean left to right on my screen, not your guys's, because I'm seeing shit different than you.
Right. So
Boo. You walk for some time. Quite a while. Yeah, quite a while indeed. And eventually you see up ahead that there is an island setting, up above. And it kind of looks like your bridge kind of rises up to it. But what you can tell is there seems to be grass kind of splayed out over the edges of it. And there appears to be a grassy mound set on top of the island. And on top of that grassy mound is a form made completely out of gold. From what you can tell, its form seems to be bunched in and has an almost like a horse-like appearance, but it has gigantic wings that are tucked in, and it has these strange tendrils kind of emanating from its lower chin. You can make an Arcana check if you want to try and determine what this creature is.
Intelligence.
That's funny.
Intelligence Arcana, yes, please. Sorry, you're not sure.
Cool. Can I try and get closer stealthily?
Yeah, feel free to give it a go. So there's not much in the way of hiding, but you kind of duck down and kind of keep yourself low, crawling towards it, kind of keeping yourself like down, staying like where the flames lick and where you can. But as you kind of approach it, kind of get closer to the hill, you see its form kind of like rise up, and these wings kind of splay off of its back, and it appears that the wings are connected from wing point down its back all the way to the end of its tail, like very large, just massive, spiny wings. And it turns its head and looks in your direction. And you can feel, despite the fact that you have done everything in your power to conceal yourself, it's looking straight at you.
The Eye of Sauron.
As soon as I see it looking at me, I suppose I'll just like stand up and shrug my shoulders and out loud say like, "Guess that was pointless, huh?"
Indeed, it was.
So, what's the game here? What do I gotta do for
Game?
you?
There is no game.
Trial, test, combat. What are we doing? There's always
So
like
presumptive.
Yeah.
We're
think
gonna
that-
play like Twister.
You think that this place is a puzzle to be solved, or a trap to be sprung?
Or a confusing option between like alternate paths.
You
and
don't-
some sort of a thing.
Prize.
In
I
your
can't imagine this is just a friendly tea time. You know what I mean?
You don't in your callous heart think for a second that this is your grave. It says as it slams its claw down into the dirt and looks at you with hatred. I know your heart, Boo. You are a
Ooh.
killer, a murderer. And you think that you can stand within my splendor? And it rises up, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Nice.
Is it really
think he
good?
fails.
Oh, is it really bad?
No,
It's
it's
not
a
22.
Crit. I mean,
Oh.
could win.
Yeah, you feel a very familiar feeling come over you when that dragon landed on the cold mountain and stared down at you and kind of caused everybody to kind of retreat. But you're like, nah.
Everybody else is gone. If I die, no one will see it. What are you gonna do? Like, I got no fear. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
go ahead and whip my ass in one fucking fire breath. No one's gonna see it.
If this is going down, it's going down. It kind of like does that and like kind of lets out a low rumbling, like a purring growl, and it kind of expects you to just kind of quake and break, but you kind of stand there and look at him like ready to go, and he kind of lowers himself down and brings his wings back down. I underestimated your drive in this, Boo.
You'd be surprising how strong apathy can be.
You are not even the most remote amount of afraid in this place, with me here, prepared to take you apart, limb from limb, if I so wished it.
The consequences are the consequences. We doing this thing?
I see no point in killing someone who's ready to die. But it's good that you are, if you're so willing to bring others to their end as well.
I've always liked team activities.
You actually get a chuckle out of the creature that you don't know is a dragon. But I think you as a player can.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, it's a dragon?
Fuck yeah, buddy.
I thought it was like a tabaxi.
Are you guys okay? It kind of. It kind of.
Open this. Like, look at Twitch, buddy. Look at Twitch
No,
for like 2 minutes.
I know, dude. I know.
I think I pulled them all into it. They should be able to see. Excuse me. But yeah,
Just being an ass.
it kind of just
great.
settles back down on its hill. Do you move a bit closer up the hill a bit?
Yeah, why not?
The grass.
No point in shouting.
The grass feels strange under your feet. You actually hear it break. And I don't mean that it breaks like a plant would break. You hear it break and it sounds like crystal breaking underfoot. When you look down, you see that this grass is not grass. It's blades of emeralds rising up. And it looks underneath that it's on a bed of gold coins. You are standing on a very strange looking treasure trove.
This is rather impressive, I will say that. Just like pointing at the ground.
I suppose. It says it kind of shuffles about on the top. You can see that the emerald patterning on the top is not so much pointed as it is everywhere else besides. It looks like he's kind of trumbled it down into kind of like
Little nest.
yeah, a nice little patch to lay on like a cat or a dog might do. And it kind of like settles itself back down and kind of turns its head, moving its neck in kind of like a worm-like fashion or snake-like fashion to kind of just gaze over at you. You may go as you please. There is no trick. There's no riddle. There's no trap to this. I don't know what you came here expecting, but as you can see, there are 3 paths besides the one that you entered in on.
Kick his ass, boo.
Okay. I will kind
Sneak
of
attack.
approach all of the paths and see if my true sight shows me shit.
Yeah, so the path on the left, it appears to have the red coloration. The path on the right and the path to the north are solid black, like not like the purplish black that Hawk seemed to present. These are solid black.
All right. As I see the red one, I will turn to the dragon, kind of like give him an appreciative sort of bow and say, "This was significantly more pleasant than I expected. I'll give you that, sir." And then move towards the left path.
The feeling was
Like
mutual.
fully like respectful. Like we're leaving on good terms. You know what I mean? Like that was dope, dude.
The feeling is mutual. If you have any questions that I might be able to answer that are not so sarcastic in nature, I will do my best to give you kind guidance.
Could I use you as a reference later?
You can also use me as a reference. My name is
Just put it on
Dragon.
your resume.
My name is Golden Dragon, stuck inside of a hellish pit. Address, stuck inside of a hellish pit. Phone number, don't call me, I'm in hell, bro.
Email address, go away.
All right.
It's hell here.
Cutting from you, Zach, and moving on to other parties, we'll go ahead and do Hawk and Cool Kid.
Cool Kid Cardiff. All right.
1 second.
Yeah, he got away without fighting. You guys have to fight 2 dragons now.
Maybe.
Yeah, both of them ancient. Both of them.
Nasty, ancient.
As
I
you
was gonna say celestial.
wander along the path, you kind of see that the stone becomes like covered with soot, just blackened in coloration, with just piles of soot kind of stuck to the stone. And as you kind of start marching through it, you see that the stone kind of falls away, and you're now kind of walking on just clouds of soot. Up ahead, you can see that the soot kind of billows out before you. And it appears that there's blackened stone with kind of white auras kind of emanating from it. The stone is shaped in 7 shapes. You see 6 pillars that are rising up out of the soot cloud, and you see a large platform of bricks set there. On the far back wall of it, which is kind of like an alcove raised up on its back end, there appears to be a suit of armor hanging from the wall. The suit of armor is completely white, shining silver, and it appears to be plate armor. The head, the helmet of it appears to have kind of wings off to the side of its crown, but there are no identifying markers besides those wings that make it any more kind of noticeable or make it any kind of identifiable is the word I was looking for.
Hawk would turn to Cardiff and say, "Can you tell if that armor is animated?"
Well, I can certainly try.
What are you casting?
Hello!
Hello there.
You're casting nothing.
Are you animated?
Are you animated?
It does not appear to be animated.
I don't see the action.
So let's go a little bit forward, perhaps up to the stairs.
Okay.
Do we notice anything that we haven't seen from before, from back further?
Nothing different. No, nothing has changed for you. There's a suit of armor, kind of glowing spires around you. The stone seems to kind of have a glow to it as well. And the back wall has that white shining armor, which, because of the strange glowing, kind of just radiates white.
So Hawk is going to go and inspect the armor.
It appears to be feather light. From what you can tell, it's made out of the most highly polished metal that you've ever seen. Like, as you pick up a pauldron or whatever, or look to a piece of it, you can actually see your reflection amidst the light on this really shiny armor. It looks like it's about your size.
Oh, God. Hawk looks to Cardiff as if to say, "Do you think I should try this on?"
Well, if you'd like to give me a moment, I can see if there's any curses or, ill-fated magic on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're casting Detect Magic?
Yeah, and then I'll
Okay.
kind of observe it, and then if I need, I'll cast Identify.
Real quick question, just for continuity's sake. Zelvor, Boo, and Mel, in the last place we went to, a certain effect happened when certain spells were cast. Was Detect Magic one of the ones that was free to cast, though? Without giving too much away?
Detect Magic, I think, actually did cause a problem.
It did, okay. So I need you
if I remember correctly, yeah.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw there, Dan.
Sure. Give me 1 second. I reloaded the game.
Sure.
Lovely. Nice job.
So 24?
Okay. You feel kind of like this rage and agony kind of enter into your mind, and you'll only take this much psychic damage. Like hot fire seems to emanate in your brain. You take 5 points of psychic damage, and the spell doesn't seem to happen.
Well, that was unfortunate.
It was Identify that was fine, though. Yeah. But
Identify was fine.
Yeah, but not saying that aloud to Cardiff either.
Well, I mean, that's what I was going to do anyway.
Even though the fact that you guys Detect Magic caused you a problem.
This is fucking Cardiff, man. Trial and error, dude. That's his whole life.
All right, you cast Identify on it. It appears to be a suit of mithril armor. The armor appears to be very highly polished mithril. Besides that, the effects or whatever benefits it's granting are way beyond what you're able to kind of just met out in a dialogue. It feels like the armor is tied to this place.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what that means. but you know that it's very powerful here.
Yeah, it seems that all magics that exists in this armor only exists in this plane or area. I don't know if we were to leave, if it would still remain as precious.
Sure. So I guess Hawk would take off his armor and put it in Cardiff's bag of holding,
Okay.
and then don this new suit.
All right. So as you put the armor into the bag of holding, this burst of flame comes out of the bag of holding.
Oh, Jesus.
Cardiff, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, God. Guys, Cardiff might solve our problems.
Okay. Do you want
Lucky.
to lucky on that, or
Yeah, you might want to.
Throw that lucky.
Nah.
no? Okay. The bag of holding just ignites in flame. Everything that was in it just spills out onto the ground, including the suit of armor you just stuffed into it. Basically, you're left with just a handful of patches of fabric that
come
you pulled
on.
away, and a suit of armor that's just laying there on the ground. And whatever else you had in there. I don't know what you have in your bag of holding. You said some stones and rocks and stuff. Probably
Just a bunch of mundane shit. I mean,
Yep.
nothing that great. I guess, I don't know, boots of speed,
Those
Crane's ring, brooch of shielding.
Sure. Yeah, those are all out there.
Those are all.
He had a Holy Avenger in there too, didn't he?
No, just those 3 items. That I mentioned.
Would you like some boots?
Okay, so I guess Hawk is going to put the armor, his old armor, on the ground with the idea that he'll try to come back for it.
Sure. And then you put on this suit of armor.
I guess so.
Okay. Once you put the suit on, you realize its benefits. It kind of seems like it takes on its essence at that point. And as the Identify spell was cast, you kind of see the lingering magic, and it kind of ties you to it as well, Cardiff, so you kind of have an idea of what it does. It is plate mail. It does not impose disadvantage on stealth checks made while wearing it. It gives a +3 bonus to your armor. And you are immune to critical hits.
Okay.
Sweet.
You also feel that there's another lingering effect, but you don't know what it is. Cardiff, you absolutely
Curse.
quickly pick it out. It appears that he's radiating kind of an aura that seems to be kind of 5 colors at once. For some reason, he seems to be radiating a light blue, a yellowish color, a red color, a deep
Oh,
purple,
I can go through
black,
all the archways.
and a solid black color aura.
Yep.
You're the White Knight, man.
Awesome.
All right. As you guys kind of pull the armor away and you get it on, and you're kind of like, haha, you just kind of feel this weird rumbling on the stone, and you kind of look to your stuff, and it's kind of jangling on the bricks, and you feel like something's coming, but you don't know from where. We'll cut from you and go to the next people.
It's the dragon. The gold dragon's coming over to kill you now.
Oh, gosh.
Nice knowing you, White Knight.
I need that
All right.
26 AC.
I'm hoping as we're walking down this path, Zelbor and I can like
26
start.
AC.
What? 26? Sweet.
Now I do.
As we're
Yeah.
walking along, I cast silence.
Oh, man. You know why? Because he wants to.
That's
enjoy-
so mean.
He wants to
That's
enjoy
so-
the moment.
Fucking funny.
I'm gonna like hold his hand to make
And
sure we don't get
The
lost.
funniest part about that is it does not cause. It doesn't cost you a spell slot to do it.
No.
Oh.
Yep, that's why I'm doing it, baby.
Oh, so he just likes to
Oh.
spend silent moments with me. That's what it. You know.
I'm
I
kidding,
understand.
okay.
I think
I'm not
I don't
gonna
even
cast
think it's
silence.
silent. I can imagine him just like, I'm gonna monologue for the next
Yeah.
5 minutes. Just like, here's my chance to
Boom.
monologue with no audience response. Like, try and stop me. I need a rant.
And at the very end, when the spell ends, and that's how I'll destroy. I mean,
Keep cutting out.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
the silence
it's-
spell.
It's very anticlimactic.
Yeah, I don't know why that happens. It's so weird.
I don't know.
Very interesting.
It's fine.
My cats have been chewing on my mic every once in a while, so
That might be it.
Mel and Zell don't have to talk. They have this unspoken thing going, so you know.
again, I'm not actually going to cast silence. That was just.
It was funny. That's
Well, if
what
you're
she-
going to talk, then
Yeah.
you should talk then. If you really had a thing to say.
Oh no, just we're gonna do this, Zell. I know it. We can do
Where
this.
did everyone else go?
I don't know, but we have to do this on our own. It's just you and I, like it was in the old days.
Oh.
Like when I met you playing in that bar.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll go in here. So what is this that we're stepping on? Is it
So
like
real
water?
quick, before you guys move your tokens and stuff, I was going to go to a
Oh,
bit
okay.
of
Yeah, we'll back up here.
exploratory text. So you guys see up ahead of you that the island that you're walking up to seems to have a bit more structured a look than the others. It looks like it's just broken stone, like a stalactite, hanging in air. But set on top of it is a temple. The temple appears to have, openings on 4 sides, and you're walking up to one of those openings. A series of steps leads up to it. It's domed at its top, but it kind of has like a layer. It's kind of a layer cake-like effect. It looks kind of like a temple with a dome atop it. The dome is solid gold. The temple underneath is stone that seems to be covered with like strange vines and just weird moss that seems to be heat resistant and surviving. As you kind of approach it, though, as you step up the steps, you feel steam kind of rushing against your face. It's hot at first, but then there's kind of a cooling effect afterwards. And as you step into the first step, you realize that you're stepping into about maybe a 6-inch depth of water that's set across azurite stone tiles that fill out the entirety of the room. There's a fountain in the center of the room, and the fountain appears to have kind of motifs along its bottom and side, and apparently within that show a kraken or an octopus, kind of all about it. The ceiling above you, outside was gold, the dome was gold. The interior appears to be like fine marble, but appears to be covered with paintings, much in the style of like the Sistine Chapel, kind of a very old style, kind of just realism. And from what you can see, it appears that there are several motifs leading towards the interior. There's about 11 on the outskirts, and then 4 in the center, and then 1 in the absolute center. The 11 on the outside are really hard to tell, but one of them is a kraken. One of them appears to be kind of like a dragon, for the ones that are currently important. Of course, you wouldn't know about the dragon. The 4 on the center, there appears to be an amulet, a cup, a crown, and a strange-looking stone. And then the centerpiece is a sword.
Is that
The
is
sword.
that a kraken up there touching a Kenku inappropriately?
I'm not seeing that. It must be how you're looking at it. Like a cloud. So amulet, cup, crown, and what was the other thing?
So on the 4 interior ones, it was
Yeah.
amulet, cup, crown, and stone.
Stone. Okay. Yeah, and
I
then
hope
there
you're
was a
writing
sword.
this down because my cat has.
And then the one in the
I
center
took my
is
arm.
the sword.
Right. Okay. Now, does it look like any of the swords that we've seen so far?
Based on what you can tell, the amulet appears to be the amulet of penultimate truth. The cup,
Sword of sorcery.
the sword appears to be the sword of sorcery, and the chalice on the inner ring appears to be the chalice of light that you saw upon entering.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Cool. Good deal. All right. Do you have an idea of what we're supposed to do here, Zell?
No idea at all.
As you say that aloud, you hear a voice kind of rumble throughout the chamber. You should tithe.
Oh, where did that voice come from, though? Could I tell?
Make a perception. What was a perception check? Because it
Wisdom
apparently came
check.
from everywhere, but it did come from a specific place.
Malik,
You're not sure.
You're still.
I
Awesome.
heard
I'm also going to just.
we're in big trouble.
You are sure.
Zell.
It came from the center of the room, that fountain.
We're in big trouble, Zell.
I
Because
think
it
it
just
came from
said-
the. I think it
it
came
ju-
from the Kraken.
It just said the tithe, and unfortunately, we just spent all the remaining party funds, as far as I know, and I don't have anything.
I don't think that the tithe it's asking is.
Cutting
I
off.
think it's
I said I don't think that the tithe is actually money.
what do you think it's asking for?
I don't know. I just don't think it's money.
You should. Rumble, rumble. The water starts kind of splaying out in rings from the center.
I should
Okay.
what? Think it's money?
You should know what it is.
All right, let's move forward. We come in peace.
There
You
you
hold
go.
it in your hand. Give it to me.
I do have one cool thing that I am willing to tie.
He's talking about the
The
sword.
sword.
Give it to me. And as he says that, and you're kind of muttering, you see a tentacle come out of the center well and just slam onto the stone.
I am going to react to that.
You're cutting out so much.
You're cutting
We
out,
got to get
man.
you a
We
new
It
mic.
really sucks, man.
Let's get that kid a new mic.
Well,
Right?
hold on. Give me a second. Let me actually just
Sounds like the sleeper.
take that. So give me 1 second.
Okay.
Who knows? Could be. All right. So he's getting a new mic.
I don't know what he's doing. He's fixing it, he said.
Okay, let's try that. Also, the thing that's annoying is this is a new mic. It's just, again, the cats have been chewing on the cord, which I tried to keep them from doing.
That's so adorably dangerous.
They're cats. What are you going to do?
Cover it in pepper sauce or like some
Yeah.
kind of bitter thing, and they will immediately stop chewing it. Once they-
Covered in pepper sauce. It
reason
sounds
I do that
delicious.
is because it's,
Yeah.
Not too
it's got a
cats.
cloth covering on it.
Oh.
You can get there's sprays at pet stores that are like
Yeah.
formulated to be bitter that's safe for fabric.
This is
Okay,
a,
I'll take
this
a
is a
look.
commercial for PetSmart now.
PetSmart,
No, like I
Just
mean
Smart.
like a good independent pet store.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless they want to sponsor me. I mean, I'm down.
As I said, though, I would like to, in response to the tentacle coming out, Odaluke's resilient sphere myself for a minute.
Sure.
Just
As
cause.
you kind of do that, it kind of comes out fully. Hold on a second.
Everything's black. Can I see?
Yeah, I
Oh,
can't see anything either.
Oh, never
Yeah.
mind.
We could see it on the stream though.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
It comes up out of the water, and you can see that it now has 6 tentacles out and about. 2 of those tentacles seem to have large pads at the ends of them, and those ones are actually now floating above its head, almost touching the ceiling, which is about 40 feet high. And it's kind of looking down at you with one large eye, and it says, "Give it to me.
What will you do with it?
I will free myself from this place. I have been trapped here for eternity."
If you've been trapped here for eternity, how do you know outside's better than this?
Anything is better than this purgatory.
I'd like to divine sense this guy. Oh, I think I did this once already. And it nailed me.
Too
didn't
late.
I?
Too late.
Yeah.
Too late.
Oh yeah,
already
you
said
did
that.
it.
It's too
You
late.
did it.
It's too late.
Goodbye to more of your wisdom, bitch.
You click the button.
Luckily, that's my
You
turn.
said
No,
the
that's okay. I'm
things.
not
Make a
done with
wisdom
that
saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Kill me if they fail this.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
My head explodes.
Rip,
Do you have inspiration?
You
I do
have luck.
actually. I have
Ripperino.
inspiration.
Use it.
Ripperino. You using
I'll
it?
just use my inspiration.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I
Damn,
got it for saying that joke last time.
that was gonna be super funny though. That's
That was so
My head
great.
would
God damn it.
explode. I hate that.
God damn it.
you do take this. Though.
Well, come on, Zach.
I wanted to see what was gonna happen. Like my
6.
curiosity is so not satiated.
Take 6 psychic points of damage as you kind of
Nice.
feel a
I
burning
mean,
in your head.
He'd have negative wisdom at that point.
It kind of looks at you as you do that, and then it looks back to you. Its eyes kind of just oscillating inside of its socket, and it focuses on Zelbor, and it says, "This is your last chance. Give me it, or I will kill you both, and I will send your bodies to become nothing more than ash in the sea of flames."
I'd like to see you try.
Smash.
I'm in a resilient sphere, though.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I can knock you around like a fucking play toy.
Well, that's true.
You're not immobile.
How long does that thing last?
One
Minute.
minute.
Oh my goodness. This is gonna
But then he just casts it again and again.
That's
And
right. You can just
again.
keep on
No,
casting
no,
it.
no. I have a plan for when it comes off.
Can you just dimension door?
Okay, so
Yeah, because that worked really well last time he tried that in this place.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
that
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
Dimension Door. That was Magnificent Mansion.
it can hit you, and it's going to. But when it slams upon you, it's going to grab the orb. I'm just going to say because the orb's not really something that you can maneuver. It grabs the orb.
I can slowly move in it.
Like a hamster.
Okay,
He's running.
Half speed, but I am perfectly fine with you grabbing it and tossing me.
fair enough. And then it will it'll use the second attack to fling you. It's going to throw you right back out the way you came in. I want you to roll a percentile die for me, just for fun. And then the other attack will go against Malik.
You bastard. 26.
Malik, take, or what's your AC?
Oh, it's less than 21. I think
Then-
it's
Take 16 points of damage. It hits you
18.
and loops around you and has you in its hold now.
I should not have taunted this thing.
yeah. I'm thinking it's evil too.
Okay. With a 26, it's low enough. It bowls you right out the door, but it seems to kind of catch you like right in the pathway, so you don't fall off the edges, and you're just kind of rolling in the stonework.
Which pathway am I in?
The pathway
Am I
that
back where it was.
back where you came, right? It threw you right back out the door, and you're just kind of
Gotcha.
you're kind of bowling. I'll say it threw you a total of 60 feet this round because you're kind of moving. You're kind of moving like Super Monkey Ball.
I love that
I'd
game.
Probably, like once I got a distance, I'd probably just put concentration on it.
Okay, it throws at 60 feet in a random direction and knocks them prone. So what we'll say is you go to 60 feet down the pathway, and when you release the auto sphere, you're kind of just laying there, sliding on the ground. No, you'll take none of the damage that you would normally do from being tossed about, but yeah, you're fine. The Kraken smashes into Malik. We're just gonna go for initiative order, being back and forth. Zelbor, if you want to re-engage, you'll be after Malik. Malik, you're currently grappled with me.
That's fine.
The escape DC is set before you of 18. If you want to remove yourself from it as a move action, you can attempt to do so. Otherwise, you are restrained.
Is my turn?
It is your turn. Yeah, you are restrained.
Restrained. If I'm restrained, I'm not able to cast a spell with like semantic in it, right?
Don't believe so. I think restrained pretty much would stop that.
Try to get out of its grasp, Malik.
Hold on a second.
Bummer. But I have it right where I want it.
Try to get out of its grasp, Malik.
Make
Trust
friends.
me. You don't want to be standing next to it.
Or he's
Yeah.
gonna fireball.
No,
it.
yeah, you can do it. Go for it.
I
You
can-
Oh,
can-
I
can?
have
I can
a
cast-
plan, actually.
Yeah, it's
I
just
can cast
your
a
speed
spell
is 0.
when I'm restrained.
It doesn't say that you
Yeah.
can't move. It just says you can't. Your speed is 0.
Right.
Sweet.
And-
All right, good. I'm gonna cast this spell on it then. I'm gonna be like, you should put me down now. And if he doesn't put me down immediately, I'm going to cast this spell. Boom. Banishment. We'll see if it works.
You cast the spell. It doesn't do anything to it. I'm
Does
sorry.
it?
We're in an extra dimensional
No,
space.
no,
You
no,
can't
no,
banish
no,
anything
no.
From here.
It's
It's
not.
already
He
vanished.
can
No,
go to-
it's
he
not
can
that.
Go to a different place.
It totally would have worked.
It's not.
It totally would have worked if it wasn't this specific creature. You see it. It just it does it, and it says it kind of holds you and kind of like grips you and goes, "If only it would have worked."
Yeah.
Zelbor.
Sorry, dude. I was
Um,
trying to help you. See, we could be friends.
You know what? I'm just going to do this because why not? I'm
Okay.
Blow us up.
not going to blow us up. I'm casting Disintegrate.
It
'cause
fails.
I can do this.
On the sphere that you're in?
He popped out of
I
it.
dropped concentration on this.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yep.
Wow, that's serious damage.
So you move up to it. You kind of gotta.
I'd probably be about where I am now because that's
Yeah.
like 45 from it.
That's fine. And then, pachoo, and yeah, it saves, or it fails to save. Disintegrated creature and everything is wearing and carrying except magic items. On a failed save, the target takes the damage. If it reduces it to 0 hit points, then it does. Okay, so it didn't. It absolutely didn't.
I'm
Do
sure it has
that.
a lot of hit points.
I'm sure.
Probably 100 or 200 or some crazy amount like that.
Ooh, maybe 5 times that.
Maybe 500.
Maybe 1,000.
So you do some damage to it. And then it'll go to its turn. Just aggravated. The above you starts to swell with energy. This is as its legendary action. Just swells with energy, and clouds start to form over its head, and bolts of lightning strike down. It will 2 against Malik and 1 against Zelbor. Dexterity saving throws.
DC 23. Holy shit. I don't know if I can pass that. I roll 20, 25. I guess I could if I roll really good. No,
Yeah,
actually, I have a -1 dex.
Yes.
It's a
I
critical.
passed 'cause I add
Critical.
5 to
Well,
that.
no, it's a critical success.
It's
You
a
pass.
crit.
Nice. You always pass.
So you're taking 9 and 18, Malik, and 18 lightning damage for you, Zelbor. That's its legendary action. It will use another of its legendary actions, basically sequencing right after its turn, to throw Malik out the door.
Darn it.
Just leave.
Malik, do me a favor, make a dexterity saving throw.
Nope.
Okay, and then Zelbor, make a dexterity saving throw.
He threw me at you.
Okay. He throws you straight towards Zelbor. Zelbor, you initially kind of move away to not get hit, and he goes flying off the ledge, and you quickly kind of reach down and kind of grab at him, and actually kind of take a brunt of damage to keep him on the ledge. You'll take 3 points of damage, Zelbor, and you'll take 3 points of damage, Malik. As you
I
kind
just
of
drop him at that point.
bash into each other.
Like, you're not worth it.
You drop him off the cliff.
I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
I know, but you kind of help him back up, and he's fine. But yeah, he the Kraken kind of like after like igniting that, it kind of once it has you both out of the chamber, its tentacles swoop back in and it drops into its well.
Well, that didn't work.
So I can't see it anymore. I'm guessing, right?
Correct.
I got a plan.
So do I.
Well, thank
I'm
God,
thinking we
because your
run in there
plan's
really
been
quick and go one
so
different
good.
direction, so we don't have to go back the way we came, and then we could tell people that we really kicked this thing's butt.
I was going to wait for it to reappear and cast Feeble Mind on it.
You could cast that, but I'm thinking we should try to run, and if we can't make it when we run, like if it jumps out and gets us, then we cast the Feeble Mind. Otherwise, if we make it, yeah, forget it. Right? I'm gonna heal the shit out of myself too. Actually, how badly were you hurt? I mean,
I'm down like quarter-ish of my hit points. Third-ish. I'd say closer to a third. Quarter-ish to a third-ish. I'm okay for right now. Don't worry.
all right.
I have
because I took a
my
lot of
healing
damage.
potion safety blanket with me.
Now, granted, a lot of the damage I took was caused by stupid things I did, but still, I'm gonna cure wounds on myself.
Oh, and just to note, the storm clouds up above inside of the dome, they're still thundering inside of the dome. You can hear booming sounds coming from outside.
Are you kidding me? My spell is not working.
So you're casting Cure Wounds on yourself. You said you were going to move. Are you moving in or away from the temple?
I was gonna stand right where I was.
Okay.
Well, he was casting it as third level, so there should be more dice.
That's what I
rolls
mean.
there,
It didn't
'cause
roll. I'll
rolled
roll
one.
the extra. I'll roll the extra d8s separately because the spell's
fine.
not working right.
Basically, immediately after you do so, 3 bolts of lightning come slamming into both of you. Choo, choo, choo.
Wait a second. I didn't say
Oh.
I was going to run.
Oh, that's cool. Immediately after his turn is done, I'm taking a
Okay.
legendary action to shoot you with lightning.
Fine.
Right.
So I'm gonna take more damage, and I just healed. This is not working.
So
guys.
both of you need to make, because of your positioning, I got to choose 2 on Malik, 1 on Zelbor. Dex
Well,
saving
wait,
throw.
didn't Malik run? Okay,
No, he
okay,
said he
you
didn't.
and
He said he
Malik-
stood it.
I stood where I was shown on the map there.
Okay, so you're taking 10 points of lightning damage there, Zelbor, and then Malik.
Let me roll. Their dex saves, right?
Yep, 2 of them, please. You need natural 20s to get it. No,
Uh,
and no.
no.
Take 20 total.
No way. I don't need
No.
natural. I don't necessarily need natural 20.
Yeah, you
because I have a
do.
+5, don't I?
Hold on.
Because it's not factored in there. Because I get
20.
+5 to all my saves.
18 plus 5 would have been a 23. So you need 18 or better. Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
anyways, fail.
Which I didn't roll.
Take
so I take all
20.
the damage.
Yep.
Take 20. Yeah, see, I'm not going to heal myself anymore. Forget it. Not worth it. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Let's just bum
I
rush.
don't know where we need to go though. What if we go somewhere and we get bounced back? Like what seems to have happened to them?
Are you guys rushing in to try and get past it and go other directions? Is that what your goal
That's
is?
why I was suggesting we do that, but I don't know if that's
Okay.
if let's maybe back down a ways. This thing we keep getting zapped by electricity, so let's move off the map. Back where we're safe. Can we do that?
You guys are moving away from this temple.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I'm not moving.
You're not moving away from the temple?
Well, hold on a second. I move 60-ish feet away so
Okay.
that I can still
Perfectly
be
fine.
within-
The storm seems to kind of calm inside of the temple, and it's no longer booming as you look at it.
Okay, cool. The storm is
Right.
gone.
Well, it's gone for now. Somehow we still need to get through there, and I feel like if we try to run through it like you suggested, he's going to pop up and try to grab us.
That's possible. Very possible. What do
Yeah,
you think
that's
would
pretty
be?
likely.
What's your alternative? Do you want to go in and try to feeble mind it? I mean, you can do that when you're
I
running
wouldn't
through.
mind either that or just trying to make it appear and trying to just attack the shit out of it.
We could do that too.
Um,
I'm gonna heal myself once now that we're in the safety area
Malik.
because I don't want to get killed.
Malik, make a nature check for me real quick before I move to the other
Nature
party.
check. All right.
I mean, I
nature
know
check.
krakens are nasty things.
Yeah, you are familiar with the Kraken because we mentioned it. A Kraken is a very powerful entity. There aren't many in the world that remain because they were hunted by merfolk. It took entire civilizations of merfolks to bring down Kraken. This appears to be one that's been bound away, and you're not sure that you and Zelbor.
You could try giving it your sword, but I don't know if it would take it with it or if you'd get it back. That's the
I
thing.
don't want to give it the sword. This thing's awesome.
Cut away. Going to cooler kids than you.
Yes.
It goes to
I'm gonna
boot.
heal myself, but
I'm cool. I'm just a selfish cool.
You
selfish.
walk along the path. We don't.
Wait, before I leave, the dragon said I could ask it a question, right?
It said if you wish to ask it any questions, it would
Yeah.
answer them.
Before I leave, as I'm kind of turning and walking down that path, I want to turn around back to the dragon and say, do you know of any way that we can safely pass through other barriers? I know I can go through red, but is there a way for me to pass through the yellow, the black, the other colors safely?
So you ask that. Is it possible for you to walk down others' paths?
If possible.
The only way to do that is with the gleaming white armor. The gleaming white armor that is seen in the land of beauty. If you wish to go there, you can. I think you might be able to make. No, you cannot make it there. It is not your destiny to be there.
There's only one set of armor, correct?
The gleaming white and the shining gold. But the shining gold is mine and you cannot have it.
Of course.
It nods its head.
And last time we had to pass through secret passages between different sort of areas.
I do not know what you are
Is the
talking about.
Fair enough. We seek.
You must walk
You know
your
what?
path.
You've done enough.
You
I
must.
appreciate what you've done for me.
You must walk
and
your
I'm just gonna
path.
dip.
And if the other
Now,
curse have
that's
come,
fair.
well, whisper. So you just keep talking. You walk away.
It's all good.
Okay.
And if the others have come, now keep this in mind because this will save your life.
As you approach, you see that the stone up ahead is completely just blacked out. It looks like there's an orb of darkness that's just completely envelops the next island ahead of you. It looks like there's a bubble of black that's connected, and it seems to be surrounding the island up ahead.
Can I see through the bubble of black with
No.
my sights? Cool. Does it actually look like a physical bubble, or does it seem like some sort of ethereal, like smoke type thing?
You move over to it and you touch it, and it feels ethereal. It feels like it can be walked through. And as you're looking at it with the amulet, it is magical, but it appears real. So it's not an illusion. It's not something that you can see through. It appears to be a tangible physical thing, but it appears to be liquid. It appears that you can move through it. It does not appear that you can see through it, even with the eyes, unless you want to try using the amulet's powers.
No, that's fine. That doesn't seem to be the point, so I'm gonna move through it.
Okay. Once you enter
It all
in,
seems extremely taboo. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
each room has a purpose, so I'm looking for that sort of end game.
gotcha. You think it's a puzzle.
Yeah.
Perfectly
As if
fine.
it's been set up by someone.
As you enter into the bubble, the feeling of darkness that you see as you kind of enter into it kind of evaporates, and you feel like you're just in a furnace, a completely black hot furnace, like you are just engulfed in heat. And you see up ahead of you a shining white kind of vestige appear in the center of the blackness, and it seems to be radiating out its whiteness in the black orb that you're in. It's all that you can see, and it seems to be kind of gleaming in its armor, kind of looking at you. In one hand, it's holding a hammer, and in the other hand, it's holding a sword. It starts to approach you.
Is it approaching, weapons drawn, as if
Mhm.
it's gonna fight?
It does appear like it's prepared to do so. As it comes closer to you, its blurring white form becomes more manifest, and the face that seems to be present on it seems to be the face of a familiar person to you. And as you look at that person, you realize you've seen this face a couple of times before. You're pretty sure it's the same face as the judge from the last world, from the Earth world.
God damn it! I haven't killed anyone, have I? No, I should be okay.
It steps towards you, kind of burning white hot, and it just feels hot and judgmental. And like as you see, it's the face of the judge. You do kind of have that momentary in Boo's mind. Have I killed anybody since I seen that guy? In your own head.
Yeah,
like,
that was all
real.
in character.
Yeah.
Like that was real. That was in character. Like, I haven't killed anyone, have I? No. Like I'm looking around to ask if there's someone there, but I haven't said it out loud. I'm like, I'm fine.
As
I'll
you
be
have
okay,
that
I think.
pang of guilt, natural guilt for your character, the amulet at your chest starts to burn white hot as well, like right at your chest area, and it's tangibly hot. It seems that you'd want to recoil from it or kind of remove it from being in contact with your body, or it might do damage. What would you do at that point?
Well, it was just a momentary hesitation, but I've realized I honestly haven't done anything wrong since the last time I saw this guy, so it just kind of passes because I've done so much wrong up to that point. I'm not used to the whole.
Oh no, I understand.
thing.
I understand. The triggering
yeah.
effect was guilt.
So that's
We've got
I'm just
that.
gonna leave the tangible. I'm gonna leave the like burning shit on me,
Okay.
and like if I can handle it, I can handle it. If it gets like so hot, it's like searing my skin and causing me actual damage.
That's
then
the
like
one.
we'll talk then.
No, that's what's happening
Okay.
right now. That's what I was
Okay.
asking you. What-
How much damage is it starting
Are
to
you
bubble
letting-
my skin?
Okay. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna let it like
Got it.
go until it gets to a point where I like need to do something about it.
Take 22
Oh,
points of fire
fuck.
damage. And you
Cool.
now have a permanent scar in the shape of the amulet on your chest.
Hey, that's nice.
Your
That's
clothes
good.
are
That's
also
badass.
burned with that shape as well.
Pretty cool.
Great, then I'll take it off now.
You kind of pull it away from you and kind of pull it away. As you do so, the flame of it kind of dies down, and so does the flame of the judge. And he kind of moves his hands towards you. It looks like he's going to pull weapons to you, but as they come closer, the weapons vanish, like just wisps of flame off of a campfire. And he kind of looks at you with his piercing white-hot eyes, and his face is no longer showing the shape of judgment anymore. It just seems to be on a featureless face, and it's just kind of reaching out towards you, quiet, silent, but you just feel like there's a certain kind of judgment still residing in this thing that's hot and bright before you.
Kitty cat. Kitty cat.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Okay, it eventually kind of moves into you and kind of grabs your shoulders and starts holding them with burning white hot hands. It's not cindering burning hot. It just kind of feels like there's a bit of burning and smoke coming off of your armor as it's holding your shoulders, and it kind of stares into your eyes, like focused on just your soul. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. On your soul. Any special cool things that you want to do before I tell you what happens next?
Does he get a soul caliber?
I've got another one of these.
Indomitable.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
Don't you also have a lucky? Oh, nice.
Does not need
Can't
the
touch
lucky.
this bitch.
And you feel like there's this lingering kind of just urgency for you to kind of fear whatever it is that's kind of, staring into you. But you've come to terms with who you are, and you're honest with it. And you feel like your, resolve in this path is unshakable. It kind of just flickers away in front of you. Solid blackness starts to kind of fall away, and it feels like the air around you is actually crispifying and becoming like ash around you. Once it finally kind of falls away, you realize that you're just on a small island very similar to the center platform that you came to, but sitting out on a rocky kind of table or setting is a bow. The bow is made out of white metal, and it gleams in the firelight from above. The string appears to be a silver cord that attaches, the bow to it. It appears to have just a very ornate look to it, but it just doesn't have any like markings or features or anything on it. It's completely white and glistening, and there is a single arrow setting along with it as well. It too is completely white and shining, gleaming light.
It is the bow of ultimate snarkery.
Yeah, I guess I will approach the bow and pick it up if nothing fucking kills me.
Okay. Yeah, you pick up the bow. You have it in your hand. Unfortunately, you're just really good at saving throws or really good at having a reroll. Bear with me here for a second. As you pick up the bow, you hear a voice kind of enter into your head, and it says, "Swear to me that your cause is good, and you may take me up. If you do not do so, then set me down and be judged by the world around you."
My confidence shan't waver again. My cause is true and good.
Then swear to me that your bow hand will only be drawn up when necessary, when a kill is earned, when an oath is made, that life will be taken. Otherwise, set me down and be judged by the world around you.
This
I
guy's
accept
really into
these
judgment.
terms.
You spend a couple moments with the bow, kind of focusing in on it. It is an oath bow. Statistically, you should be able to look that up in a Dungeon Master's Guide. And you see that there are 3 other paths besides. Very much similar to the island that you were just on, 1 to each cardinal direction, and you came in from the south. All right. You feel like this place has a certain gravity to it. I don't mean like physical gravity. I mean like more of a weighty emotional air to it. You're pretty certain that once you leave this place, leave this island, it'll probably reform whatever that was, that pure hot judgment that sat in its center, and create the ash orb about it. All right. So 3 paths, we'll discuss that. Oh, you got the amulet. You set it back down to where it rests nicely on your burnt chest. The path to the east is the red path. The path to the west and to the north have a purplish black glow, similar to the path that Hawk went down. Not black like the last one. All right. Speaking of Hawk, Cardiff and Hawk, you stand there, kind of looking at Hawk, who's now kind of like a bright, shining 80s fucking superhero, like just absolutely white and shining. And the 6 pillars seem to be kind of pulsing their light out like lighthouses. And you'd see that the ash at their base starts to kind of bubble and pulse until... One second. Bear with me here.
Oh man, this kind of sucks.
What?
I lost +2 to my attack rolls and damage.
If you use the bow.
Yeah, if I use the bow, I guess.
Yeah. That is frustrating.
Right?
Yeah, like when you lose all your magic items. I hate it
Yeah,
when that
that
happens.
Something's happening.
We got what, like 1 more month of that joke?
Yeah, and then it'll be,
Maybe,
then we'll
maybe.
be,
Okay,
then we'll
cool.
be sick of
As
it.
long, as long
To
as
be
we're,
fair,
as long as we understand.
Zach, I don't blame you for this. I blame John.
Pulsing like fire rises up out of the ash and seems to take on kind of just angry shapes, humanoid shapes, and they kind of start looming up over the brick and stone and kind of look down at you with white hot eyes. They seem to be kind of pulsing with their flamey just burnination, but what you can hear amongst them as the flames kind of just cackle in their bodies, you hear this word kind of pulse out of them, and it seems to be saying Sindiscray, 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 over and over again in just this muted, Ignan kind of voice.
Hey, that's me!
Roll initiative.
Oh man.
You're gonna have all the fighting.
Hey, you had some fighting. Shut up.
No,
Yeah,
what we
come on,
did
man.
wasn't called fighting. It was called getting our asses kicked.
Hey, that's not true. I
That
did
was
it, what, like
separate.
67 points of damage?
I took like a whole ton, like 81 points of damage.
I
But-
dished out 67 in 1 shot.
Okay,
Yeah.
Hawk, you're first.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, that it appears there's no other way out of this area that we see, like no paths, right?
Correct. And the wall behind you is kind of a back end. Yeah, it's about 10 feet high with spires that rise up 10 more feet beyond that.
And these things right here, what are these brown areas?
They're holes in the cloud.
Holes in the cloud. Okay. And what's back here behind us? Is that like a
You can't-
wall?
Yeah, it's a wall. That's the 10-foot high wall and the spires that go 10 feet up above it.
Okay. Hawk will yell to Cardiff, get behind me, and he'll attack this one here.
Okay. That'll hit.
Off the stove.
Okay. That'll hit. And That'll hit. All right. So 16, 21, and 20 hit for a total of 43 damage. Hawk slashes into the fire with the Dia sword and basically rips a decent amount of it apart. It goes to them.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's okay. You've got this, man.
Oh, boy.
Three
You're
will
fine.
On the plus side, you got a Cardiff with you.
three,
Yeah,
three
baby.
will attack Hawk. They need to get a crit to hit. None do. But when they hit and you kind of block with your shield and kind of move your pauldron to kind of block as well, you see that the fire, when it kind of like licks against the armor actually melts like ice.
What?
Just a little bit. It doesn't seem to like melt entirely. It's just like a little bit of the armor just kind of like drips. You can look at it and you kind of see it has like a gloss on the pauldron like ice would if it heated up a little bit.
Hmm.
Cardiff.
That's a really bad sign.
Attacking you. Hold on, these get 2 attacks apiece.
It'll
So
be fine.
let's
You'll
try.
be fine.
No crits. And then against Cardiff, no. Yeah.
Reroll that.
Okay. That's 2 points of lucky.
That's 1. I've not used a single point of lucky yet.
Okay.
Remember when I let my bag of holding burn into
Yeah, he has
ashes?
not used any lucky yet. It's been the 2
What's your AC?
fighters that have used stuff.
17.
Okay, so that one will hit.
That'll hit me.
And then I
You
got
guys
one
haven't
more.
used lucky though, have
So
you?
7 total. Alright. They being close to you just feels like it's going to be an issue. Oh, I forgot to say. Hawk, you attack that thing 3 times. Take 15 points of damage.
Take 15 points of damage for what?
Each attack you swing at it, you take 5 points of fire damage.
Okay.
They've got a heat aura around them.
They've
Basically.
got a heat aura. So my shield master doesn't help with that.
No, it's no save. It's not a save.
And I have the Sword of Answering, which allows me to...
Not an attack, but I swung at you, so
it's
you
not
can.
an attack. Right?
Yeah,
So that's just one time?
one time. You're reacting.
So-
Yeah.
So the same one that I've been beating up on.
Yep. You have advantage on the attack. Go ahead. Yep. All right. Okay, so that's it for them. Cardiff, when you start your turn, you'll take 10 points of damage.
So how many points did I take? I'm sorry?
Oh, you would have taken 15 total. Yeah. And Cardiff, when you start your turn, you'll take 5 from each one of them.
Okay. How high up are these podiums? Or how up is this wall?
The wall's 10 feet high. The podiums are 10 feet more than that. And there's spires, actually.
Spires. Okay. As a bonus action, I will use chromatic speed.
The computer.
Bamf. You watch as Cardiff becomes a blue lure, as you've seen several times in the past, and he darts away.
I'm on top of the wall.
Okay.
Nice.
Behold the infinite beasts!
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Behold the infinite.
Hawk, you need to make the save as well.
He's 35 feet away.
Oh, so you're like it's 30 foot cube. Okay,
Cube.
not radius. I got you. Okay, so it's hitting all of them except for the one that's on the. He's been hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay. Yeah, they all just stop.
That is really nice.
Where's that spell from?
It's a rename of hypnotic pattern. He just renames his spells.
Gotcha. Okay, I was wondering.
Yep.
How
Hawk.
long does this last for?
1 minute.
Okay, awesome.
Hawk, take 15 points of damage. As you start your
Okay.
turn, you do notice more that the armor is kind of glistening like ice, melting in the
sucks.
sun.
Getting hot in here, Cardiff.
So take off all your
I'm
clothes.
I'm going to
Hey,
attack
that's
the-
Delbor's line.
Fair enough.
So take off all your clothes.
You're fighting the one still. Yep, hits.
I just want to kill it.
And then, shit.
That's nice.
It dissipates.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay. Its space is kind of just ash now. If you want to leap out to it, the other ones can't attack you.
Shit, Cardiff, is there any way you can get us out of here?
Well, I don't see the need in fighting these, or you could just retreat. This armor allows you to pass.
Yeah, Hawk,
So
make
I
a.
want to sort of jump down.
Well, don't go there. That's a hole in the fucking ground.
Okay, we're over here. I don't want to go in the hole.
In the hole. In the hole.
In the hole.
In the hole in the fucking ground.
When you hop down where the thing was and kind of look at the pillar behind it, you actually see that the pillar itself has kind of like a door to it. It kind of looks like it's openable.
So let's do that. And I'm going to yell to Cardiff, I think this is a door.
Hold on a second. Okay.
There's,
You can move to it this turn and open it if you'd like and look in.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. When you open it,
Make a dexterity saving throw.
you look inside and you see a stone pathway that leads out into a sea of flame, just like every other pathway that you've seen. But it seems to be inside of this, maybe a separate, or maybe the same. But it appears that there's flame kind of breathing across the path, and it seems to be kind of blocking your entrance, and it seems to be kind of buffeting your entry into this place. It doesn't seem like this is a path you can walk.
Okay.
All right.
Do I have enough movement to get to another?
The one straight down from it?
Yeah.
When you open the
Yeah.
door and look inside, you see a stone path, no fire.
Hawk yells to Cardiff, this way.
Master.
Okay.
Making sure that Cardiff would be able to get there. He would wait for Cardiff to go first, and then he would go through after.
Fire elementals do nothing. Cardiff goes in, you shut the door behind you. Upon shutting the door kind of just, sits there in space. You can see that you'd entered into a spire on one side, and on this other side, there's a spire, and it seems that the ramp down, or the path that you're on, kind of ramps down. At the end of the path, you see a black orb floating in space. Roll me a percentile die. You actually, as you're starting to approach it, you see it dissipate, and you see Boo standing on the this island where the orb was, standing over a shining white bow, which he picks up and seems to be talking to. Just as you approach, you can kind of hear him. So Boo, instead of marching off in a different direction, you see Hawk and the others coming up the eastern path. Hawk and Cardiff coming up the eastern path.
Okay.
All right.
Do I recognize the armor that he's in?
It looks very similar to the armor that the white burning hot thing was wearing. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Cut from you guys, and we'll go ahead and do Zelbor and Malik. You are standing some 60 or so feet away from the temple of the tentacled one. What would you like to do?
So Malik, I feel like I've had a couple minutes to think of a plan. I've got jack shit. What have you got?
You haven't thought of any plan in all that time. Mo, I was hoping
Well,
you had some
I've-
sort of
I've
awesome
thought of-
spell or something.
I've thought of an idea, but the thing is, well, all right, I'll do this much, and I'm going to touch Malik.
All right. Sounds like a good plan.
So we have part of a plan there.
Yes, invisibility. So I'm invisible now?
You
So
are
do you want me to
invisible.
I'll try to sneak through, and then you follow me. I'll go off. What direction do you want to go? Just pick a direction, because unless you can
North?
use your.
No,
Can you-
let's.
Wait, do you have true sight or anything like that?
Last time I used True Sight in an area like this, I went blind for like a minute. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
doing that.
That's a bad idea. Let's just randomly.
You keep using your stuff for some reason, and like you seem stunned and phased for a
I'm
few
a-
seconds. Are you
I'm a-
okay?
I'm a glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
Do we want to go straight, right, or left? Just pick a direction.
No, I
'cause
just, I just said left. I just said left.
Okay, I will sneak
Left.
left then. Very
Right.
quietly, very carefully. Sneak in there and go to the left. This thing probably can still
Okay.
see me, but
I'm holding back, and I want to see if the thing appears, and I'm going to cast Disintegrate if it appears.
As you kind of march out into the water, you see the tentacle kind of rise up and kind of settle down slowly, and it says, "Tell your friend to bring the sword. Go back and tell him now. Go
Just
back."
keep walking. Just keep
I
walking.
guess I would turn around and go back. It kind of sucks.
You want if you want to rush?
Shot by dad.
It doesn't look like he's ready to smack or anything. Like it just
Keep
looks like.
going. Keep going.
What do you want to do?
Actually, I said I would have gone back, but now I can come back in again later if you want to. Just I can wait a while.
Tentacle
How long am I-
slips back into the water.
All right, I'm going to pretend like I'm talking to you here. He did tell me to tell you to bring him the sword. If that's not,
I
enough,
cast
then-
Odalut's Resilient Sphere on myself. But no, I don't do that.
Do you want to
That's-
just run?
grab the
Want
ball
me to
last
just,
time.
want me to
Just
in there?
run!
All right, I
Yes.
will just run in there then. Screw that.
You're running.
I'm
The
not
tentacle
worried
comes
about
out.
it.
He
Yeah.
starts to say words before you even let him talk. You just keep running. The tentacle comes
Yep.
slapping out at you, and it seems.
As I said, if I see the thing, I want to cast Disintegrate on it.
Go ahead and throw
again.
your spell.
I may get whacked around here.
Okay.
Ooh, good damage.
Mm.
Hopefully he doesn't have any legendary resistance or any crap like that.
I do
No,
not.
he succeeded, so he takes half.
Yeah. So 31. He seems to be disgruntled by it, and as he is, he kind of. Are you standing right there, or are you further back?
No, I was gonna run.
Not you, Zelbor.
Oh, Zell.
I was, yeah, I was standing there. That's where my thing was. So
Okay.
It's gonna whack you.
First
I
off,
don't know what range it has.
it's going to activate its lair action. The water, as Malik is stepping out of it and rushing past it, becomes just infused with lightning. You can see it just cackling and kind of bursting. The clouds above him, as his legendary action, start to kind of pulse with lightning as well, and his tentacle comes slamming out at you.
Wait, which you?
Zelbor.
Gotcha.
It hits, and it'll go ahead and snatch you and start to kind of hold you out there. It seems like it's ready to kind of drag you in towards it if need be. Malik, you keep running? You don't know what's going on, probably.
I don't know what's going on.
You can make a
once I
perception
see
check.
him-
Wisdom perception check.
Yeah, because once I see that he's caught, then maybe I'll turn around and do something. But if I don't know, perception, do this. Finally.
Yeah, you would actually know that Zelbor just got. You would hear him go, ah! As he kind of. Or,
Shit!
that's the one. As he gets
Shit.
snatched by a tentacle.
Well, I don't have many options here, buddy. I guess I would charge back in and try to smite it when it's my turn. Should we
Okay.
roll initiative or something?
No, we're just going beats to beats. So Zelbor, I've got you. You can go ahead and take an action now if you want. You can see outside enough to be able to get away from him with teleport type spells if you'd like.
I'm not sure I want to risk teleporting in an area where extra dimensional space screwed me before.
Fair enough.
But I want to try this. And I really hope that it fails. What, intelligence saving throw? I don't know if it has intelligence bonuses or not, but
Oh, I'm sure it does.
probably. But still, if it fails, it's kind of incapacitated for a minute.
Yeah, and we can just run.
Yeah, it's good.
You son of a bitch!
It has a 22 intelligence.
Yeah, I've noted. I figured it did. I just wanted to.
Do I take half?
You take half.
Okay.
So 15.
And okay. Nothing else from you, Zelbor? And Malik turned
I
around
mean,
and
that
came
was my
up.
action.
You have a bonus action.
I know. I'm trying to think. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to bonus action healing word myself
Okay.
because I can.
Now remember,
without worrying about expending
yeah,
spell
but
slot.
remember the nature of the spell. You can only spend the first level and not expend it. If you
Oh
spend,
yeah, no,
okay,
I only use the first level.
cool. It will, because Malik is turning around. Go ahead, Malik. If you want to charge at it, you can. But hold on a second. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right. You know, guys, these are going to catch up to me eventually. Con saving throw.
As you
Like that.
step down into the water, you feel like static and just kind of electricity kind of snap through you. You take 13 points of lightning damage. If you want to continue walking through the water, you can, or you can stop. Your call.
Well, where would I be when that happened? Like right in there?
Right
where I am
there.
shown?
Yep.
Where would Zell be?
There's
She's grabbed.
there's a
right?
tentacle coming out of the well that's all like reaching across the way that has him.
Okay. Can you get out of that, Zell?
Sure.
All right. Well, then I'll go back.
Fucking
Come
idea.
get me. I'll go down this as far as I can.
Okay.
Just gonna put myself. I'm imagining the thing's holding me like right by it.
No, it grabbed you far away, and now
Oh,
this
okay, so it's just.
yeah this turn is pulling you in. Once it has you in close, it's going to pull itself up out of the water. It lifts itself.
And it's going to eat me.
It lifts itself up out of the water with its 8 tentacles. It's holding you in its like main tentacle, and it just kind of reaches underneath itself and puts you inside of its mouth. Let's see
Yeah,
if
I
that
said
works.
it's going to eat me. I know how this works.
Oh.
Before it
That's
does,
not-
though,
Okay.
hold on. Sorry, wait. I apologize. I had a thing. Before it does so, it says to you, "Relinquish the sword or be devoured."
I choose the fuck you option.
It puts you in its mouth.
No.
Yum 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 yum.
I take what 27 damage. Damn,
Yeah.
that's.
And I need a
that's lot.
Constitution saving throw. I think. Hold on a second.
I don't think I need to do that.
No, that's only once you're
now.
inside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going
No,
to escape.
The Kraken must succeed on a DC 25 Constitution saving throw if you're
Yeah,
trying
that's it. That's if I do a certain amount of damage to it.
while
like
you're
50.
inside of it, right?
Yeah.
So-
But
Because Zell is so nasty.
on your turn, you're blinded, restrained. You have total cover against attacks, and you take 42 acid damage at the start of each of my
Wait,
turns.
at this. Oh,
Each-
yeah, I was thinking at the start of my turn didn't seem right.
At
usually
start
at
of
the-
Kraken's turns, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not good.
Fuck it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go by where Malik is if this works.
Okay. You teleport to Malik, and you're out on the bridge. You see the wreathing flames. You see Malik running past them as he sees you and kind of starts rushing through them.
And I'm gonna start running down the hallway and yell, "Come on!"
Watch how down the pathway that he was on.
Yeah, just.
Oh, okay.
Like,
So
just try to get
ma-
away from the Kraken.
make a Constitution saving throw, Malik. You don't have to make it
Wait, why do I have to make a Constitution saving throw?
because this ain't your path.
Oh,
Shit.
man, this isn't your
Hilarious.
path.
Oh man,
Hilarious.
their arms are waving as they run.
Just to say, I'm going to die on this next turn.
No,
I just am.
no.
I love you.
Yeah, I'm dead.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just going to die. So I know.
You snap back.
I don't
Um,
have enough health to withstand anything.
You snap back to the Kraken.
Right.
Malik, you go rushing through.
Do I
And...
pop inside of the Kraken or just?
Oh no! You're not inside the Kraken. No,
Okay.
you're just back
Not
near the
yet.
Kraken. You're in the same room as him.
Can I stop when I see him not make it down
Sure.
down the hallway? All right, I'll stop like at the end of it or whatever, at the end of the hallway, so that I can go back if he can't get out of here.
So John, just send me a new character sheet.
No. Hold on.
No.
No, give him the damn sword.
Hold on.
We're dying.
Ready for the fun?
Fuck that.
Ready for the fun? The Kraken will slap down and hit you. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat you. Just gonna give you the beats.
Yeah, just give me the rolls.
Take your damage.
I am at like, awesome, 17. I am at 5 hit points right now.
Wow.
Grapples you, and with the rest of its attacks, it'll pull you back into it. It's not going to swallow you because it can't do so. But it has you there, and it says, "Last chance." Malik rushes back into it and sees the situation. He would have had to dash to do it to get back to just where he was because he did rush through. quite a bit of the ways. While you dimension doored appeared to him, he ran. You got burst back, and then he turned around and ran back. That was the same turn. So the Kraken says to you, the sword or die. And as it kind of lifts you up and pulls you close to it, that's where we'll end the session for tonight.
No!
Good cliffhanger, good cliffhanger.
Switch places, Malik.
I can't. That was an
He doesn't
ability I
have that
had-
anymore.
That was ability I had a while ago.
He
Yeah.
switched his paladin order.
We changed his oath because we.
So yeah, I'm at 5 hit points right now, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and kill the
Man.
stream. Thanks for watching.
Kill the
Oh,
stream and
man.
kill Zell.
Oh, I just totally did a goof. I'm such a
Alright,
silly
so-
goose.
You,
And I'm
did
just
you
going
kill
to
the-
die next time.
Did you kill the stream?
No.
Oh.
Hold on. Okay, killing the stream now.